Sorry for the delay, folks. As you see, I am sadly here by myself. Allison is feeling a little bit under the weather after pulling her back, but we all decided it was the right thing to do, that we should still have an episode. And what better way to do that than to have the first episode of Schmoe Me the Reel this year? And that means I got two other knuckleheads with me. That is none other than Jeff Alterman and Brandon Buckingham.
I think we had one in January.
We've had some. It's
just been a hot minute.
I should say of the Showdown year.
No.
We haven't had one.
Okay, Matt's right there. We had one, I think, like post awards or like
February.
We had one post awards, but not one for.
We haven't had any.
You know what? It was February.
Started.
It was February. I remember now. You're right. And then we all
were
like,
since the matches
for a while?
started, but it's been a while.
Well, someone had to move, and someone had a gout flare up, and
a gout flare up. Oh no, I can't walk. Oh, what should I do? I guess I should sit in front of a camera instead.
I couldn't even. How my room is set up, I can't even put my foot up anywhere. So I want to hear.
All I hear are excuses.
Yeah. I should like. But Buck is trying to behave today for reasons we won't say on screen.
I don't know why you had to bring that up. Like, I don't really say that many things that aggravate you, do I?
There was a pause. There was a pause there. There was a pause. There was a pause in that comment, dude.
And for good reason, but no. We're gonna have a good time tonight. We are going to still run this in the Spin from the Reel format, but it's just going to be Schmoe Me the Reel. And of course, knowing the three of us, this will probably go off the rails within the first 5 minutes, especially because Jeff's here. All righty then.
Hey, fuck you, Matt.
Love you too, buddy.
That love is a one-way street, dude.
Brian, I appreciate that, by the way. To the people I like, and Jeff is here.
Dude, you can't even spell my name right. If you're gonna make a condescending comment, at least know who you're fucking talking about, bro.
All right, but real quick, how you guys doing tonight? Before we get this started, how you guys doing tonight?
I'm feeling myself. How about you?
I'm doing all right. Shug Steelers got some of my picks in the draft this year, and I know he's gonna be talking about that in the chat. We got Wingblade in the chat, Mike Deacon, who I love dearly. We got Shug, Brian Nussbaum. We're gonna have a good show tonight. I promise that, because Jeff's here, and Jeff is gonna do whatever he can to just get laughs out of us, because I know him so well. Whether it be an off-color comment,
there are a lot of serious things going on in the world, especially in America, and more specifically. On my street, where that person totaled my car and drove off.
You should send that video.
I can't. I'm not gonna put it on. I'm not gonna put it online. I don't want everyone to. I don't want to put a video out of like the front of my house and everything online. But suffice it to say, it's ridiculous. And if you're a friend of mine who hasn't seen it and you'd like to, talk to me privately. But yeah, the pickup truck just came down the street. And we have street parking here in Philly, and they just fucking collided with my car parked on the street, this pickup truck, and then it just drove off. Didn't have a license plate or anything.
You know what they said about telling you what happened?
Mm-hmm.
And then this is how Jeff felt when he saw the video.
Emotional damage.
Yeah, that's been the last.
Saw that video. I'm like, this dude just hit it, stop, and let's just keep driving.
Bro, and he hit it into the back of other car. I was just like, oh my Lord, Jesus.
I think I'm sending it to Wingblade now, so he'll have a chance to see it now. And Wingblade, put your thoughts in the chat so that other people can hear about it, okay? Love to hear your thoughts.
But real quick, because I know you guys haven't done the show in a bit, I want to give you guys the chance to talk about your general thoughts on the Schmoedown before we get into this week's
I watched the last 3 weeks worth of Schmoedown today.
and yesterday.
Showdown out.
I watched Klee Jacoby yesterday. Everything else.
Actually,
after
that's
that,
the only match I haven't watched. I skipped over that one week, and I'm like, I feel like nothing happened in that match, so I'm just not going to go back and watch. So that's the only one that I haven't watched. I've watched everything else.
Hey, Swag got the dub. That's all that matters. Swag, dub, baby.
I went like I think it was like so. I watched the team action reunion match. Shit, why haven't I gotten this?
I'll send it to you, dude. Just give me a second.
It's so great. The video is something else. But no, like it was really weird. Like I love seeing Ben and Drew together. Like I was on like an ultimate high. I'm like, this is freaking awesome. And I don't know what happened. I don't know if it was Schmoedown or life. I just stopped watching for like 2 weeks. And I'm like, oh great, I'm behind now. And the way that I was watching matches is I basically chart the entire match with like the questions and stuff so that it would help me when I was doing the show. And it just got a little bit too much, a little bit overbearing. And I'm like, this is just, like, it felt like work and I wasn't getting much out of it. So I just decided, you know what? I'm just going to watch to watch. If I say something wrong about what happened in a match, I say something wrong because I don't have notes.
See, buddy, here. You want to know what? You took the Matt Thomas approach, which is watch, try to remember everything that happened and give your thoughts on how it made you feel. Because ultimately, what you're going to do is give your most genuine thoughts because you're going to talk about what you remember the most, which is what affected you the most. So that's why I know Chris and Allison take their notes. But ultimately, we're all here because we care about this in some form or fashion, and we want to give our thoughts on what we cared about. Now, granted, sometimes this wheel that we're going to pull up here in a minute has other ideas, which is kind of why I love this format because, man, that wheel is a fickle beast sometimes.
Mistress. Fickle mistress.
You can say fickle bitch. It's okay.
Yeah.
Hey, I haven't been on in a while, and I don't remember the rules, so I didn't want to curse. I couldn't remember the rules. So I was.
Listen, only one of your friends is here to fuck.
I have 0 friends on this stream right now.
No.
Oh,
no.
I
was referring to him as a friend. How you refer to him as a friend is different than me. I only want to refer as a normal friend. You see, Buck here is racist, and what racist like.
I mean,
okay, we're not going there. We're not going.
We have already gone over this, right?
We got rid of this time,
right?
but
Matt,
we got
8 minutes.
We got rid of
8 minutes. We got 8 minutes in before we got off the rails.
Holy 14 shirt balls! I definitely duck it, dude. Too.
For the record, we checked that other car. Nothing. There's like nothing on there, and if there was, it was the most. It was like it kissed it in real life. It was.
By the way,
like,
that's on stream right now. You don't count. You're not on stream.
All right. But let's get this going. Let's pull up this wheel and let's make Jeff suffer. So, Jeff, go ahead and do the thing. Give us a fake little wheel spin, buddy.
And then it fucking spins in the other direction.
What are we gonna talk about first here on Spin from the Reel or Schmoe Me the Reel? Fucking in the middle. Okay, we're gonna give this a bump. Biggest free-for-all surprise.
Biggest free-for-all 5 surprise, not 4 surprise. Hopefully you learn how to read one day. Biggest surprise. Well,
so
you're
the biggest surprise is for you. So here with this, we're going to talk about our personal surprises for free-for-all. I had 3, so I'll go in my order of biggest surprises. And first off, one of my biggest surprises was Travis Fishburne, the FCL champion, coming in there and making kind of the impact that he did.
Does he live in SoCal?
I believe so.
Okay, that's all I need. All right. He's definitely going to be getting
A call up.
Yeah,
definitely. After this, no doubt.
I didn't think that he was a surprise specifically because of his geographic location and everything else going on. So, but continue.
It's not about him being there. This to me is about performance. Surprise, like how.
Oh, I thought you meant like surprise. Yeah, I guess.
So Wingblade says Travis is in Ohio. Ohio boys taking over the Schmoedown. Let's go.
Wingblade, why the fuck do you have to say that?
You know what?
Don't feed this man's ego.
You know what it was?
People actually care about the state of Ohio.
I have a lot of family there, dude.
Ohio at heart.
I actually mixed him up with whoever was the Star Wars FCL champ. That's what happened. The one that Brennan won against. JC
Reifenberg.
That guy, I think. He was the one.
The guy that actually owns the.
Yeah, that's what I mixed up. That's what I was mixing up. So continue.
But no, just how Travis performed and was able to stay in there and compete and got a couple perfect rounds, if I remember correctly. He just outperformed anything. Like he outperformed any standards I would have thought he would have. You know what I mean?
I mean, he is the FCL champion, so we definitely know the knowledge is there.
But we all know, and this is me as a question mark. The FCL, like the MTS is here question standard wise. The FCL is like just a little bit under, not a lot, a little bit. And having him come in and step up and knocking out some of the people that he did, that was just incredible to me.
Mm-hmm.
So
okay, Sean, yes.
Are we gonna do like a round? Are we gonna do like a round?
We're gonna go to Buck now.
So is this performances or just moments?
Moments, definitely. Performances, doesn't matter.
Anything.
To be honest, Shannon's reaction when she got a question right is my number one moment. She got so excited. She was so hyped. Also, Kaiser, how do you miss a baseball question? Like you are literally known as the baseball guy inside the Schmoedown for competitors.
The scout's not as big of a title. So
the scout is not a big title.
No, but here's what I'll say about the Shannon thing, and you know it's a fun thing, and also it makes me question a few things. One is it seems very much so like they are, I guess, pivoting Korruption to be like more
a face
team this year. By like and using like the entrance of like, you know, they are a family and now I guess they're realizing what matters most is family, etc. Like, okay, cool. But it makes me wonder then, like, because some people play sort of off their characters in the free for all, and then other times they definitely don't. And I'm like, what is and is not canonical within the stories that they're telling at the free for all? Because she's just like, we're all tailgating out there or whatever. And I'm like, hold on, wait, does she have enemies or are they all friends? Like,
well, to be fair, and some behind the scenes,
I know all that. Yeah. I'm just talking about making a reference like how hanging out, tailgating outside, like things like that. I know all about the production thing. They announced at the beginning. They had to shuffle around all sorts of shit probably for that. But it is very funny to see someone like Shannon like show up and just be hammered. I know that if I showed up at the free for all, I too would be absolutely hammered. So I thought that was fun to see.
But no, Jeff, what was yours?
What was surprising to me? I mean, I guess one thing that I'd actually say is we are so focused on the IG stuff with Amaru and Saul, and then to see them like basically side by side for a while there, just like dominate, and then Amaru keep going after. But like seeing IG people hit harder than expected, like that's definitely one.
That's funny. Funny enough, my next surprise was Amaru because for that reason alone, a lot of people think about him as the IG competitor. And I remember you and I were talking late with Peggy one night after Schmoe Me the Reel, and
He just knows. Yeah.
She was warning. She's like, Rue's better than more than just IG. Trust me, I've seen it. Rue is, and I was like, we'll see. Maybe one day we'll see. And to me, I'm like, well, I guess this was that moment I was waiting for. What's up, E man? Always a pleasure to see you in the chat, man. Your brother's a killer. Like I might be messing with him right now because he don't want to respect the only two black captains in Star Trek, which we'll talk about later.
That's not him. There are rules, and he's following the rules.
He sets.
Nah, it's fine. No. I get it, man. Look, there are rules there. He just has to follow them. I understand. Doesn't matter if he wrote them or not.
Bibbs lasting only 3 rounds. Someone gave him a later number next time. Yo,
2 things. One, like, come on, gotta give like
Bibbs always gets an early number.
But also speak her name and she enters.
Thank you, Peggy. Yes.
But also, like, Bibbs looked like, and I hate to say it, like he looked like shit.
Well, to be fair, he did say his knees was.
No, that's what I mean. That's what I mean. Like he looked like he was like in pain to be on camera, and I think that took away from
him focusing.
But also like in terms of like what we're trying to watch, and we're trying to be entertained, and the whole thing for this is supposed to be so much fun, and then we see Bibbs there at the very beginning, like fucking dying up there, and it's just like, is he okay? And that's what you're thinking about at the beginning. Like, I get it. I know with everything going on with the COVID and they had to start like probably because of all that stuff that they probably had to scramble, and maybe he had to be there because it also helped make the number up. And maybe he might have also, like, because he's Bibbs and he wants to be a part of it because, like, you know, he's that personable and yeah. And I think that maybe someone should have said, no, I would rather you not. You need to take care of like yourself, because like he didn't look good up there, and we don't want to see these people that we like in pain like that, not just to like amuse us, not at the cost of their own health. Remember, I mean, what was it after I don't know if it's the exact same thing, when there was was it Mara
and Rachel's match,
and Rachel was in a car accident, and so they both, like, it was just like a grueling experience to watch.
It's some people's favorite match, but like you can tell
they won a match of the year.
There's something bugging about them,
yeah. So like you watch that and it's like, God, I hope like you're distracted the whole time when you like just hope that they're okay, and then knowing now they definitely weren't, like it kind of sours that whole experience. Like, why would you do that then? I don't want to see Bibbs when he's hurt like that or in pain. I want to see him when he's himself and able to just be there. And same goes for literally anyone else. So I don't know. I didn't enjoy that beginning part of it. That was definitely a surprise, but not like a welcome surprise, unlike many others.
So here, I will say this. My issues with the beginning, and to a certain point, I get it, but my issue more at the beginning is you had like heavy hitters just all get off the board in like the first couple rounds. I'm so like I like them being sprinkled in here and there.
Oh yeah.
Just
by the way, it took until a free for all for Sam Levine to miss a question.
Right.
Also, another great moment is Bateman clears a table on a question he misses. He's like, "Hey, I cleared a table." Technically, you did, but did you?
Mm-hmm.
He cleared a table. It doesn't matter.
I missed the question. I literally looked at my phone.
PJ and Paul cleared the table.
Hey, did he have a lead? Did he have a lead?
Yes.
He cleared the table.
So what was the math at that point? Like, if he got it right or wrong, wouldn't it still have cleared then?
Well, no, it was some people could have been cleared, but some people could have stayed. At the end, it was just he was the only one who ended up staying. Yeah. I'm pretty sure everybody got it wrong.
Yeah, so like, then he got it wrong there, but if he was ahead, then if he got it right or wrong, so that didn't matter.
But there are other people who could have gotten it right and ended up staying.
No, I got that. Yeah. I'm saying it cleared, but I'm saying that cleared or not, he would have stuck around either way. Yeah. Anyways,
Brian Nussbaum, the greatest Schmoedown category, Schmoedown personalities in film. It was personalities, not just players.
Yeah.
But man, that was interesting. I was very happy. I loved hearing the Roxy Stryer Madness in the Method question
It
because
reminded me of the movie, which isn't like a great thing, but like
the
I
mo-
forgot that
the
she was in the
movie's
movie.
the movie's not great, but it's not bad.
I agree with you with the first part of that sentence.
I'm not gonna sit here and say it's a bad film because you can watch me talking about it with Brian O'Halloran, star of Clerks, this past week. So go check that out. It's on the channel. Yeah, plug. Perfect.
Yeah,
plug.
I'm not trying to be a star fucker, dude. I'll just say whatever.
I was just setting myself up for a plug. Shut the fuck up, Jeff. Go fuck yourself.
Don't you miss this guy?
Yeah, I do miss this guy for some reason.
Did you boot him or did
no? He's his audio's here.
It was the bit in which he said, "Go fuck yourself." I said, "If you insist," and then I went off camera.
Right.
Okay.
That is a grossly horny mountain man that I don't want to look at anymore.
It actually doesn't look that much different than me right now. My beard is
your beard is
your beard is like
almost
3
twice as
times
long
longer
in this GIF. Yeah. Your hair looks way better right now than it does in that GIF.
All right, let's get back on track. And my personal last surprise, even though he's been in the Schmoedown for a while, I gotta talk about this man because he was a bitch on the show last week, and that's Nick Harley.
Dude, Nick is killing it right now. Like
he is having a great season so far.
I like
the shade he threw at Smets. I'm like, oh damn.
Yeah.
Oh damn.
Leah Logan says Jupiter descending courtesy of JTE.
And the fact that everyone and when you watch the Schmoedown this long and you know stuff like the personality of JTE and then him in this ridiculous getup and it's like, oh, I'm this is the real me. No, the real you is the guy who throughout the history does weird name fuck-ups and spelling errors like that. Like that is so classically him that it doesn't matter what you do with his character. And it like if this is the first time someone watched that, it's funny on like it's funny to anyone who happened to watch it for the first time,
right? And
it's even funnier though for the people that are dedicated, and that it's things like that I think work like the best, you know, like that I think work way better than like when there are sometimes like comments or storylines I feel like indebted into like only those who have like watched the show religiously will definitely catch it. But yeah, that was hysterical.
It was just so great.
Buck, you got anything else?
Actually, Chandru was actually really funny when he knocked out Dan Murrow. He got so excited at that moment. Like it was like right now, what Chandru and Harley are doing with their heel work, I'm absolutely loving both of them, what they're doing. Like Chandru, I'm actually wanting I'm like Harley, I'm actually kind of hating you right now.
Chandru in person is like such a sweet, friendly guy, and it's like it's awesome to know him. Yes. But then like what he's able to do now that he's no longer like in these weird, awkward storyline things they had on digital last year, and then the weird stuff from like at the end of last year where it all kind of felt he always sold it, but it was like the material itself was always kind of shaky. Like him in person now is great. I still think that everything to do with the Roxy stuff still bugs the hell out of me, like Earl's storyline shit, but he is always giving it 110%.
Yes, he is.
And Harley also is just now that he doesn't have to worry about this and he could just continue to build on being a dick that he was in FCL.
Yes.
It's great. Like reserve being a nice guy for like when we go out to drink or whatever. Like that's it.
What Jeff is really saying, reserve being a nice guy for when I try to kill you with alcohol.
I will do it. I will do it.
That's very true.
I started drinking at 11 a.m. on Saturday.
Also, I love getting my little PLD
cameo. can I be honest? A small part of me wished that PLD cameoed was actually playing.
For like one round,
right?
I'm like, and it would have
not even one round. Just put him in and see what happens. Because
the problem was
he wrote
it.
I know he wrote questions. It's like
he either wrote the question or he reviewed a question PJ wrote, like that sort of stuff.
Yeah. And it is what it is. It sucks, but what
plus
can you
Kelly
do?
and Company. Obviously, I'm not just saying those two as the only ones. Shout out to the writers, by the way.
Correct. Yes, I believe there's
shout out Team Question writers.
Actually, when I was texting to them earlier, let me see. There were a couple questions that I pointed out that I really like dug and wanted to like point out like my appreciation for them. Let me see. There was.
I'm really curious if this Schmoedown personality in film was just for free for all, or is that a wild card that can be in an actual match?
I think that's a wild card that could be in the match, but
PLD mentioned it in the chat. After today, it's gone until next year. But who knows? Next year, it could be a real slice.
Gotcha.
We don't need PLD entering a free for all. I've seen how that ends.
Yes, we have, haven't we? God, that was.
And he also says you got to put down the Appletini.
Here, I text them, good swerve with the Scream 2 question, because a lot of people that are just like thinking of those, they hear David Arquette, they hear Courtney Cox, and they're like, oh yes, that is definitely Scream. But Scream 2 was 97, Scream was 96. So that's a great one, because here's the thing, they could have actually replaced that third name with Nev Campbell, and I think that actually would have made the question harder.
I agree. That's knowing your movie release dates. That's all I gotta say.
That's literally just the movie release dates one. There was another thing because the other questions that I talked to them about were when I was catching up on everything else. Never mind. That was the only one I texted them about. I forgot. I was texting about all sorts of other stuff.
All right, fair enough. Well, with that, we're gonna move on to our next real slice. So, Buck, go ahead and give this fat bitch a spin.
No body shaming this reel, dude.
We're not body shaming here. It's just very round.
We'd be hypocrites if we were.
Oh, precisely. Wild card. All right. It was supposed to be Allison. I didn't get her wild card. So, Jeff, what do you want to talk about? I'm gonna let you be the wild card. Of all these slices, what do you want to talk about on this wheel?
Oh, so I get to choose one of these though. That's
because Allison was supposed to be
for the sake of this. That's fine.
Yeah.
Let me see. MVP, Shazam the GOAT. This is the first time I'm seeing like the whole wheel and actually reviewing it. So give me a second. What does Shannon do? I don't know what that question means. Marisol's choice.
So what does Shannon do is regarding the actual teams match we got.
Oh, because we're also talking about this past Friday. That's right.
Yeah.
Marisol's choice. The GOAT debate reopened.
Cutting the scene.
Biggest free for all. What is cutting? What is cutting the scene? Is it just talking about the storylines?
Talking about the cut scenes, yes, sir.
Okay. Biggest free for all 5 surprises, which we just did. Why don't we do Marisol's choice, because I think it's a pretty interesting topic here in terms of what from a sports aspect or whatever's left of that. So she defended twice. So she doesn't get an automatic number one. She doesn't get an automatic title shot again.
No.
But I believe she's probably getting a number one contender spot.
Yes, sir.
So she now has a number one contender shot guaranteed for singles and a title shot for anything that she wants, or she could give to someone. So I think it's very interesting, especially and I know it kind of goes hand in hand with the MVP, so I don't know how much I want to delve into that if we talk about that more, which is just like, but it's like she has a number one contender single, and Dan has a number one contender shot now. He could use that in singles against her guaranteed number one contender to possibly, and whoever would do that could then go up against Levine next. Like, that could be great. They get two people who have like owed number one contenders spots like that in order to prepare for so we finally get to see a Marisol Merle match, and then for that to go on to Levine. Like, that could be a really cool hypothetical path. But yeah, I want to hear your thoughts on that too.
So I will say this. I think now with Korruption being broken up, I think we see a team of Marisol and Chance.
I mean, it makes the most sense.
It does. Because those are the two A players in regards to singles. So it would make sense to just team them up, considering she doesn't have a teammate currently, unless we have a surprise coming down the pipeline. And I think
it's interesting because like she's not as I mean, as far as we know, she's not probably as strong with like IG stuff as like
right.
Mike was as the other partner with Chance. But we do know that she has like sneaky good stuff with like Middle Earth and I think like Wizarding World or stuff. So like they also can complement each other there, maybe even more than Mike and Marisol did.
And see, that's where I agree.
Mike and Chance.
And that's where I agree with you because she's a better singles player than Mike. Mike's a better IG player. Chance is a perfect mix of them both.
So yeah. So
when you factor that in, I think. Maybe she says, let's see what we can do together and put up for a number 1 contender spot with him. And we get to see this new team for Korruption. And granted, I know that faction points aren't really a thing this year.
Yeah, I don't believe all the random references to it mean fucking nothing.
We haven't even seen them yet, so
we know that certain factions have had wins. But what does that translate to? If there's going to be a faction race, there has to be a reason for it. If there's not because you're doing other stuff with story, then stick to that. Trying to do the blend makes it kind of this uneasy pairing that it feels shaky at best and unfocused at worst.
No, and I agree with you there because it's a bloody mess in that regard.
They only have 4 people, right?
Yeah, basically most factions only have 4 people.
Yeah, I don't think anyone's full, right? So,
we do have a stream lab. I will say that real quick. It is from none other than John Lestrina.
Knew it.
Hey, that's a cool Power Rangers morpher. Thanks, Lestrina.
I was like so preparing
for. How
is this not a
quote? Right? When I went like this, it's because I was like. Going along to whatever the Dom Toretto quote was about to be.
Man, I was like, he's gonna make me say something like Fast and Furious 2 is the best film.
When I thought he was gonna zig.
Right. But no. I will say this. Amaru and Brian say it, swag is full of nothing but monsters. And he's right. Like Klee's proven to be good. Amaru is good himself. Adam Collins, Paul Oyama. Nothing but monsters. Mercs, you have Liz Shannon Miller, the Kid, Bibbs. I don't know about Brandon Hanna though. That's just me personally.
Brandon Hanna.
And then
you're talking about Mercs. Never mind.
Yeah. Are they full?
No.
I think that Paul Oyama is one of the weirdest.
No, I'm pretty sure they only have 4, Brian. Mercs, I'm positive, only have 4. I don't think any faction outside of Den has a confirmed Star Wars competitor. I'm positive Harper's the only one.
Dungeon had Nikki, remember?
Yep. Dungeon has Nikki.
I completely forgot.
Oh, but what I was gonna say is, I feel like Oyama has like the strangest like record. It's so weird. He's so knowledgeable and he misses on the most random shit. And like the kind of losses he's gotten is so like it's just so weird. It's like you get he's now been KO'd at 2 title matches. And his wins against in the other ones, it's so odd. I don't know how else to describe it. It's so strange. The kind of wins he gets that can be so dominant, and then the misses that he gets are almost always on the weirdest things.
And also, Leo, thank you. I completely forgot about
And then, they do have a full faction because they have Ace. Ace just wasn't there. Sticking to the 4 that were so they do have a full faction over on Swag.
Okay, so Like I said, because I don't have notes. Sometimes I say shit I don't actually.
Yeah, well, why would Ace be there? Everything else is in person. Ace can show up on they could cart in a little monitor and he could be on there since Star Wars is digital. They'll just zoom him in.
Next thing we know, Matt or Jeff gets a DM from Christian right now.
Bing! Ding about what? It's digital. What did I say that was wrong? I didn't even say anything wrong there. Do you want me to say something wrong? It's a weird angle, Wingblade. I don't know what to tell you. Like my new setup here, I'm still trying to get it figured out. Okay, it's angled. It's not even like actually flat. I have to go really far back. I only have so much room. There's a radiator here. Fuck you, Sean.
Sorry, Wingblade. We're not as all professional as you are.
Pop filters are stupid. Just saying.
I just like it because I like to play with it. But that's just the ADHD in me talking.
Yes, it is, isn't it?
Or is it the weed?
No, it's definitely the ADHD.
All right. No,
where were we? Oh, we were talking about Marisol's choice.
What Marisol's choice? Buck, what do you think is the best choice for her to do?
Hold on to that because
she only has until Collision, correct?
Wait, what?
Is it still Collision only?
Because that's ridiculous.
I think that's
like
what
month.
I think
it's like 2 months, isn't it? Month, 2 months.
2.5, 3 months, basically. Yeah.
I think that they said it was anytime this season it has to be used. Like
okay,
it can't be a full. They went back and forth. It seemed like it was. It was both.
Like just because I'm like,
or
what if she has that number one contender and she barely loses? She can use that shot she has and use it right again.
Mm-hmm.
So she doesn't fall down that pecking order. Because singles right now to get to Sam it's a long list.
No, for her it isn't because she defended twice, so she has.
No. But what I'm saying though is when she has the number one contender she's earned. Say she loses that on like just like one.
Then it would be a longer list. Yeah.
Yes.
Brian,
then
I'm pretty sure they changed it this year.
They changed that. They changed that because Oyama held on to it, and it was like just way too long. Mm-hmm. That's why he literally ended up using it right beforehand.
Yep.
And it didn't reflect well that time.
That would be something interesting. We'd get an even longer spectacular if that was the case. I'll give you that, Brian. That'd be enjoyable. But maybe she decides to use it somewhere else. I mean, it's so here's my thing. My one downside to the whole wrestling thing and ditching the faction points, even though they're still there technically, I guess. Where's that little bit of extra excitement? What puts extra weight behind these matches besides titles? Because you want to know something I loved about this past spectacular is that the people were still jockeying for the standings. Yeah, it was down to basically 2-3 teams, then down to 2, and each match had something on the line.
Mm-hmm.
And we're not gonna get that going forward, basically, which kind of sucks. But it is what it is, I guess. What can you do?
William Harold there, yeah. Marisol, give it to the shot to the man who she said, "Oh my God," or it suddenly starts smelling a lot like baby oil here.
But yeah, Buck, what are your thoughts on what I just said? Because I know you're like me, you're a big sports guy, so that's the sports element I'm gonna be missing the most.
Yeah, like I did enjoy that for the last 2 seasons. But it when it was that way, it felt like we had to get these forced matches for certain factions that maybe didn't have anything to do with storyline stuff. I do I miss it? Yeah, but is it like something I need back? Not necessarily. I like having, first of all, I really enjoy watching Titans and not knowing what's coming.
Yes, I will agree with you there.
I love that. Like, when I knew what was coming, I could be like, yeah, I don't want to watch this. I'll watch this later. Now, like, I have to tune in to see what's coming. Like what matches there are. So so the whole points thing, I just don't think it works well with Titans. So
that's right. And I guess my thing was more so towards the end of the year is where I'm going to miss it, because no one paid attention to the standings until realistically
August,
September, October is where I was going to say September, October, because that's when the real real contenders started to separate themselves from
because with the singles tournament, when we have these 32-person tournaments, and depending on the faction, you can make some serious ground in that standings.
Yeah. And not just singles tournaments, the tournaments in general. You were able to make up ground, period.
Yeah.
That's how Korruption did it, because they had the two IG tournament, two IG tournament finalists. You had Adam Collins. It's just so the exchange was able to make their way up the standings because of it. Like, what can you do? Like, that made for a little bit of extra excitement. I'm not saying it needs to be there all the time, but that's probably going to be the one thing I miss. And I guess the choice Marisol has to make is going to kind of weigh into if I miss it more or less. Because what if she does decide to give it away? So,
I mean, who would she give it to? Like, the only thing that I can think of is that she uses it with her and Chance, and they can immediately have a number one team skin.
Jeff, I thought you were frozen for a minute.
I know. I was like waiting. Like, I have been staring, trying not to blink at the camera for so long.
It wasn't even moving your eyes. I was like,
nope. I was. Yep. I was just.
123 Narnia says, Adam, I don't think you're gonna see her use it on someone outside of her faction.
Not right now. No.
Like, and I guess that's also the downside of smaller factions, because who are you gonna give it to?
I think that she's gonna do it with teams, though. I think that's just gonna be it, because she's already hit that mountain for singles. She has a clear path back to it right now. I think teams is where she's going to be able to actually maybe, add to it. She's a free-for-all winner, defending singles champion. I think that she can add to that in her legacy by going. The best thing to do would be to team up with someone as strong as Chance or something, and just like try and wreck shop in teams. Because here's the deal. Shazam was like, they were good, but you're wondering like if they're getting tired at all yet, because
it looked like a little bit. It did look like
they look like it together that time.
They're nowhere near that Patriots title defense record. What are they at, 4 right now?
No, they have 2. They have 2 defenses to go, I thought.
Yeah, they have 2 defenses to go.
Patriots. I thought they just did their 4th defense. I thought that's what it was.
This was their 5th defense. They've already defended 4 of the times.
Wait, they defended Spectacular. They defended. They defended against
Korruption at
Otter Cup. Say again? It was
Spectacular, Korruption at Collision, Otter Couple. There was one other.
There was Lightning Time.
And
then second, and then there was Spectacular.
Yep.
And now
no. So remember, not last season, but the season before, they lost it. And then I believe they won it against Korruption. Then they beat Otter Couple.
No.
Then
Odd Couple beat them.
Yes.
Odd Couple beat
so
them.
Then they won it.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yes. They lost it there. So then they won. All right. So I guess they won it against Korruption. Then they defended against Otter Couple. Lightning Time. Korruption again.
This was their 4th defense.
Korruption.
Oh, King Arthur.
King Arthur, and now this was 5.
Yeah, spectacular. This was the 5th.
So
yeah, man, I can't believe that we all know how to count. I'm so proud of us.
What's math, you guys? Come on. I thought I was done with math here.
I've been done with math for years, but then again, here we are.
I work in spreadsheets. They're formulas. I don't have to do the math.
I work in auto finance, so I still use math.
I'm a journalism major. I only use math for sports.
Very true, isn't it?
Hey man, I bet you mentioned a couple numbers talking to Brian O'Halloran on the interview from the Fan Expo thing that you posted, right? There, that's a plug, you fucking schmuck.
Why do I deal with you?
That's a really good question. I've always wondered that.
Shut up, Buck.
Okay.
I get it.
You're the Meg of this family.
Okay.
Hey, Meg became a famous pop star at one point. So. No, but don't worry, if you're the Meg, then who's the Jason Statham that's going to take you down?
That would be Jeff. All right. William Harold, and this is how Korruption missed their 5. Yeah. We were supposed to have a clip from Chris Anthony Lopez, but he was a little too preoccupied having fun at a wedding, so I can't even blame him. All right, let's move on to this last wheel spin of the night. So let's bring it on. We'll speed this puppy up. Oh, yes. This is where Buck's going to get angry. So, is Shazam the greatest team of all time?
Yes.
You just said they're nowhere near the Patriots, but now
No. I said their defense record. I think the way the team's division is now and how dominant they've been, yes, they are the best. Just look at the number of wins they have compared to the Patriots. No, Shazam, without a doubt, without blinking, is the greatest team of all time. Not even close for me.
Jeff?
Without blinking, yeah, I agree. They're the greatest team of all time.
I'm there with you. I was never one of the people who thought the Patriots were the greatest team of all time. What do you think makes
back when things were way different? The questions were structured differently. Sometimes it was, yeah.
So, what do you think makes them the greatest team of all time? We're going to start with Jeff.
I think their popularity, the likability as through in person, digital, back to in person again. I think that something else is, of course, their wins, the constant string of wins that they have. The fact that they have 2 defeats, they have 2 losses, and now they have so many wins, and like the stats, actually, the percentage of wins versus losses is astronomical. The kind of scores they've gotten throughout their games with the level of difficulty with some questions, they're a part of 2 101-point scoring games. I Buck, you look confused. There was the Otter couple, and then there was the Korruption at Collision. So, and I just, like the kind of defensives they've done across different kinds of platforms now in different locations as things keep changing, as the world changes. Not many things have been the same as they've been the last few years. One thing that has stayed the same is the knowledge that Shazam is going to go out there and kick ass, even if they're not the one, even if they don't look as best as like as good as they might have done on a different day. Like this past time wasn't their best effort. They still won. another 5-round match in a new location. Once again, changing places. One thing stays the same is that their knowledge and their ability to work together to win. And I think that really counts for something. So yeah.
By the way, I don't know where I got 10 defenses from for Patriots because it's not. It's only 6.
Yeah, you can't count. We already established that.
Yes. So I was wrong there. So yeah, the fact that Shazam's only 1 defense away from tying, and like who the Patriots played, top 10 Trek, Wolves of Steel, top 10 MODOK, Above the Line, top 10, and then they lost to Above the Line. So
top 10 Above the Line were the only good teams on that list.
I thought this. Wait, is this actually their 4th defense? Actually,
no.
Yes.
Where's the other time that they played Korruption?
No, this was their 4th. This was their 4th. We established that. Leo Logan established that.
This was their 4th.
Yes, 2 Korruptions.
Just making sure, because I was trying to recount because Buck said they're only 1 away from tying the record at 6.
They're 2.
That's why I'm like going back. I'm like, wait a minute, what? So okay, cool. No, it's just Buck being wrong with math again.
Otter, Lightning Time. No, this was 5.
This is their 5th total defense. This is not their 5th defense in a row. I will say that.
We have Otter Couple.
Correct.
Korruption. No, Lightning Time. King Arthur.
They won against
They took the belt from Otter Couple.
No, they played them twice. One of them was actually 3 times. 2 are defenses. Remember the speed round Chance had? That was a defense match.
That was Collision.
That was Collision. And that was the defense match. Yes. That was the 1 defense match.
So they beat Otter Couple was their first defense.
No, they won it from Otter Couple.
No, they beat.
No, they won. They won from Otter Couple because Jeff had to play or he'd lose the title. He'd have to give it up. So they teamed him up with Janine so he wouldn't have to give it up. He won. They won from the Otter Couple.
All right. Let's go back. Ready? They took the belt from Korruption.
All right.
Then they lost the belt.
Now I realize where I messed up. They had a number 1 contender against Korruption. That's where I was.
Yeah.
I thought that was their initial title.
No.
Okay. All right.
I'm just so glad you're on the same
bad at math. We've already established this like 3 times.
We tried to tell you you're bad at math, and you're like, but fuck you. Going. 2 + 2 is 6, damn it. And you're going to like it.
Oh God!
I mean, but aren't what are they 10-2, 11-2,
something like that? Yeah.
Like overall,
I would tell you, but they don't update the stats anymore.
Actually, yeah, but
just go to the Schmoedown wiki because Leo Logan probably has that.
Go to the video. I think they're now they're 13-3. 13-3 or no 13-2 or 14-2. It's one of those 2. Yep, 14-2.
Leo Logan coming in clutch. Leo Logan, we will give you a job over here. Just come on camera, buddy.
14-2, and it's just so insane that their only 2 losses are spectacular. That's it.
Just insane, and I mean, you can't be anything but happy for Shazam. Bibbs is one of my favorite players, and you could tell the amount of time and effort he puts into this, and that just is incredible to me. And the kid is no slouch either. So it's always fun to see what they got going on over there, and I'm excited for everything else because I think they will surpass the Patriots' record of 6. Because no other team seems to be able to reach their.
They're not going to play though for a while now, though.
They're not going to play for a while. You are correct. They'll probably play a Collision, and that's it.
But who are they going to play? Like, we need to get some teams matches here in the next few. To establish a number 1 contender.
Well, I think we end up seeing Bateman with a teammate. I don't know who, but I think eventually that's going to happen. Maybe that's something. We've seen a couple teams play already. So we can always see how things work out in the standings. Not standings, but you know what I mean. We can always see how things work out that way, and who wins. So who plays who and all that. So
yeah, like we just need to establish a lot of these new teams, so that we can get someone to 3 wins to get that number 1 contender to play Shazam. Because I think this last one against Korruption shows that they're beatable. Like they were very beatable in this match. Bibbs did amazing in the speed round. There.
but see,
one of those was so fucking lucky.
The Pirates question was pure luck.
No, it wasn't. That's pure fucking knowledge. Everyone knows he's been in every single Pirates movie.
No. They said how many Pirates movies, and then he hit the bell before he heard the rest of it.
Oh, fair.
So it could have been like, how many is Kira in? Like, he took a chance that they were asking either how many total movies or how many Johnny Depp's been in.
Yep.
Like it could have been something else.
They were asking about Barbosa. Barbosa was
no. I'm saying yes, but from the perspective of Bibbs at that time, when he buzzed, they stopped the question before revealing that it was Jeffrey Rush and how many movies for that.
Maybe
all he heard was how many Pirates movies. That was all he heard.
Because it could have been how many has Orlando Bloom been in? How many has Keira Knightley been in?
The difference is, for instance, the Jodie Foster Oscar question, where it's like what movie did she not get an Oscar nomination for? Taxi Driver, The Accused, Little Man Tate. What he did was he buzzed on The Accused, or just at the end of the word accused, so Little Man Tate was gonna start to be read and he can hear that. He was very lucky though, because like that could have been the 4th one. He didn't even know. So he was that a lot of that was definitely luck that he was able to get some of those answers like that. Now, I mean, obviously he knew the answer. I'm talking about like how he played the speed round, and yeah, that sometimes luck is what you need there.
But here's the thing: what you guys aren't acknowledging is this is basically exactly what happened at Collision this past summer, where Korruption had the lead, or was right on the heels, and it was a killer buzzer round. So
yeah, for chance. Like this was like, I was surprised. Oh, like that, like to go back, although it wasn't free for all. Big surprise was how well matched Korruption was this time with the buzzers.
Yeah. I mean, it's vast improvement. I think that's probably something they worked on. That's what got him back into the game. I will say this. I know we shouldn't really be doing this question. I'm sorry, but that bullet question was much easier than the Tony Scott question.
I mean, I disagree. I think that they're about equal. You're asking from the bullet question side. Yeah, it's a pretty notable classic film, especially action film. It goes across multiple different categories that way, just for a lot of that stuff. And it's asking, famous car chase in what California town, then it already narrows it down to a handful of movies.
You're right.
And then you go through there. Okay, cool. I don't think that's any different really to me in terms of like you narrow it down and counting it out than it is for the Tony Scott Denzel question. And the thing is though, Korruption had the answer too. They admitted they had the answer.
Yeah.
And then they just fucked up saying it. They said they had a number, they knew it, and then they convinced themselves it was wrong. The same exact thing could have happened of, yeah, I have it between these two. I'm going to say this one. It could have been the other one because you convinced yourself. I don't think it's that different. I don't think it's actually, I think the difficulties are about even, but for different reasons.
I can see that argument.
Because remember, the Scots are a category. A lot of those movies are like thrillers or action movies. Those are movies that go under different categories for decades and other stuff. Denzel is a category. So you have to know, just based on one of the biggest actors in the world and most notable actor names, to just know his most frequent collaborator. Second being I think like Anton Fuqua.
Yep, which
or
is
they're about,
aiming
or
for.
and then also Spike Lee is like probably third, or they're all around the same. So those are like specific things to like kind of catch.
Yeah, those are because he's done Inside Man, Malcolm X, He Got Game. So there's 3 off the top of my head right
Mo
there.
Better Blues.
Mo
Or is that?
I can't remember if he's a Mo Better.
No,
or not.
Mo Better Blues is Spike Lee. I might be mixing it up with
Yeah.
Devil in a Blue Dress, which
Yes,
I believe is Carl Frank.
You are correct.
Another person he's done a few different movies with. But like those ones there with such a big actor, good to know the well-known relationships with filmmakers. To me, I think it's totally valid and around the same in terms of difficulty.
Yeah. Buck, any closing thoughts on this?
– Sam is unbeatable. I know.
Well, I'm talking about this slice, dude.
Okay, I thought we were just giving final thoughts.
We'll get to that in a minute, though.
It's going to be interesting to see if Shazam, say Shazam does lose their next title match. Are they still the best team of all time, or are they not just because they didn't beat that defense record, but they have a better record?
Well, they'll have an automatic rematch, so I don't think that matters.
So
the idea of defending that many times in a row. I still think they are because we already talked about how they're already better. Having one more loss isn't going to change it based on how winning they are.
Right, because once again, the game is played differently now. JTE
so,
and
like
Jeff
you kind of can't compare. Like you really can't compare the two either. It's like with sports when people want to compare a player from the 70s to now, you just can't. Like the game is so different in the two different eras. It's comparing apples to oranges. So
they're both fucking fruit, dude. You can compare them all you want.
That's the goddamn analogy, all right?
Yeah, the analogy is wrong.
You're wrong.
And you can see these two all the time on their channel, Schmoe Me the Money. Guys,
we don't even do anything right there.
The only thing on the channel right now is me.
I know. But no, guys, final thoughts on the Showdown in general from the past week. Stuff we didn't cover you want to talk about real quick. Anything. So go ahead.
I can't remember. Did Sam miss a question against Paul?
No.
So he's still at 6.
They made a point 60. During the free for all to say
he finally missed a question.
We just saw him finally miss a question.
But in terms of actual singles match, he's at 69 consecutive makes, which is unfreaking real.
How many?
69.
Nice.
The only reason I remember that is because Frank brought it. I'm like, I'm gonna remember that for now. Mm-hmm. Very curious as to when he's gonna play.
Shit. Here we go again.
Very curious to see when he's gonna play again. Because I think we need to establish. Like,
I'm gonna assume after his honeymoon.
Yes, most likely.
By the way, congratulations, Sam.
Yes,
I know that you're watching because you're a big fan of us. Congrats to you, and also to you, Rachel. I know you're watching.
But no.
Also, I want to give a shout out to Nikki on her show on Monday. She had a great comment about Sam and Rachel that made me cry.
Nikki who?
Demalanta.
Okay. All right. Jeff, your final thoughts on this past week of Showdown.
To me, it's the past couple hours of Schmoedown.
For you, it is. Did you watch it normal speed or did you watch that
normal? Because I'm not a fucking insane person who can absorb people doing things at 2 speed. No.
I mean, when I'm watching 2 different streams for people that I support, I'll pause one and then I'll watch one, and then after a while I'll pause it and I'll go to the other one and I'll watch it at 2 times speed so I'm caught up so I can post something in the chat that's relevant.
Oh, Jesus Christ. That is psychotic.
I don't let how people streaming live dictate my life.
Unless it's this show. Kidding.
No, overall, interesting weekend for sure. Interested to see what happens now the Korruption's broken up. Paulo Yama is just the strangest fucking player in terms of like his record and how things come to be. It baffles me, honestly. And then came the free for all, which was definitely interesting, entertaining, understandably stressful for a lot of people for what they had to go through with that day.
Yeah.
And ultimately, I'm very curious to see what happens. I saw some people that were like questioning, like, Dan Murrell, what a predictable one. Well, the dude went the most amount of rounds and earned the most amount of points.
That's normally how you get. That's normally how you get it.
Yeah, like there were people like, no, we should have been incorporating like Paul Preston could have been in it, or Amaru. It's like, yes, they both did great, but if it's the numbers game normally, then you just gotta follow it. And okay, cool, it's Dan Murrell. It's not, it's not hard to imagine why. Of course, he was put right in the middle there, dude. Although I saw some people complaining about Marisol and her placement, and fuck you. You have the same.
It's the way the free for all works.
Correct.
People just accept it. Like,
yeah, you have the same complaint when like Miss Movies was right there at the end, and then she won. Who gives a shit? Every slot is valid. Doesn't matter if it's randomized. Doesn't matter if it's carefully crafted where certain people come out. What matters is that these people came out there and every round is the same. Every round is just 5 questions. The fact that one has a few less to get through. Oh, well, it's a show.
Deal with it.
Although I don't want to see Bibbs in round 1 anymore. I would like him
I'm tired of seeing Bibbs in round 1. I get that at this point it feels like tradition, but no.
Or like a bit, but also like it's almost like unfair to always put him there.
Yes. And I think he's even made a joke of it. Like, it'd be nice to not have to deal with this.
It would be nice to have him in like the 20s. I think that would be something fair for him.
Sure.
Because he's always been in like that first group or like the
always
second.
Standing. Always standing.
He's always standing.
Always standing despite it being like, hazardous to his health a bit.
He's still standing.
All right.
But no.
What are you a fan of Sting?
No, I'm a fan of Rocket Man.
Yeah, good. That's the right answer. That's the right Taron Egerton cover of that song.
I've never watched the Sing movie, and I never plan on it.
Sing is bad. Sing 2 is less bad, but also bad.
With that, guys, where can everyone find you?
Can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at BrandonBuck88. I do my baseball podcasts Mondays at 7 p.m. Pacific, 10 Eastern. We just talked the latest week in baseball. It's one of my favorite things to talk about. So,
who are those AL Rookie of the Month and Player of the Month book?
I don't remember off the top of my head, to be honest.
You're a dick. You do know, and I
know.
know
Actually, I don't.
Jose Ramirez and Stephen Kwan, you bitch. Anyways,
Kwan did really well.
Anyways, as always, you can find me here over on Watt Real Entertainment. Few quick plugs. If you didn't see already, our review for Spider-Man, wow, I'm that tired. Our review for Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness is up now. You can go check that out. What did I think of this movie and how much fun did I have making this thumbnail? The answer to both is a lot. And then secondly, if you didn't see earlier today on our Twitter, we did announce that we are doing a fan film, Spider-Man Mortal. That is myself, Nick Melbach, a few other people in this space who will be named at a later date, as well as my buddy DeAndre Patrick. We're starting work on that. Some pre-production and everything, so that's going to be fun, and I can't wait to share more on that with you all. And yeah, be sure if you haven't done so already to like, subscribe, and follow everything we do over here on Watt Real Entertainment, and like and subscribe to these beautiful men around me at Schmoe Me the Reel. And until next time,
Schmoe Me the money, by the way.
Yes.
Oh, I didn't get a chance to even say goodbye on my own. That's fine. You didn't even give me a chance. So I mean, you know what? You're right. Anyways, so about Peggy's new partner, damn, she's been excited about that for a minute.
Do we even know who her partner is publicly?
Did they announce it?
No, they didn't.
Not publicly. That's
what. Peggy's about to have a new partner. It's going to be very interesting.
Find out in about 3 days.
Yes. But until next time, folks, remember to spin from the reel and not the pegs. Have a good night.